You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Weinbaum, and I wasn't going to pick these fights. I'm going to pick a few for Bellator 206. Which takes place tonight, and you can only see it apparently on DAZN Network, which I do not have, and I do not plan on getting, so I guess I will miss these fights. Maybe I'll get the free preview and get that over with, but before we get to that, Nate Diaz making the news again, Dustin Poirier for their fight at the Garden at 2:30. I guess he put out a tweet that he was fighting for the 165-pound belt, which does not exist. That division does not exist as of yet in the UFC. And at the time, they were looking for a main event. I even said on Twitter that looking forward to Dana's new YouTube show, Dana White's looking for a main event. But here's my theory on this, and you can call me crazy, and I have this written out, and I even reached out to Ariel Helwani, who disagrees with me, but Nate Diaz never makes 155 pounds again. I don't know that he can make 155 pounds, and here's why, so forgive me for reading here. He's getting older. He's not made the weight since December 2015. Now, let's not forget, he had a stint at welterweight as well, because he publicly stated he hated making 155 pounds. He's not getting paid enough to starve himself to make 155 pounds. December 2014 against RDA, Rafael dos Anjos. He missed weight. So, I knew he would beat Conor just because he's just a heavier guy, heavier than 155, but kind of a smaller welterweight, 170. He wouldn't match up well against a Tyron Woodley. He got beat by Rory MacDonald, I believe, at that weight. I don't see him making that weight. And let's not forget, he came in 156 pounds for his fight with Ben Henderson. Now, don't get me wrong, that's way back when, 2012, but he was a younger guy, and he was having trouble making the weight. He ended up hitting the mark on that deal, but he didn't look great. So, and then you got Ben Henderson, kind of the same deal. He's a bigger guy. And I'm not talking about Ben in 165 or whatever. Ben will make 155 pounds. He's a big 155 pounder, but you saw, and I'll talk about this when I pick the fight between Lima and Koreshkov, but you saw what happened when, Koreshkov fought Ben Henderson. So I don't think in the end Nate will make the weight. I wanted to say it here first. I've predicted things like this, and people think I'm crazy. No way, he's got too much riding on this. I don't think he can physically make the weight anymore. So that's my opinion on that. Now, what do you say we pick some fights? And, for all you doubters that think I'm wrong about Nate Diaz, I'd love to hear from you too. Really. So,
You're on steroids.
Yeah, well, you're all on steroids. How about that? All right, so let's pick the fights. I'm only picking the top three. Douglas Lima versus Andrey Koreshkov. I looked that up, how to pronounce that a second ago. So if maybe I didn't get it right, maybe I did. First up, Lima, his last loss, of course, to Rory MacDonald this January. Before that, his only other loss since 2012 was against the great Ben Askren. So that's tough. And he's beaten Paul Daly. Him and Koreshkov have split one apiece. So this is a nice little rubber match going on here. He beat Lorenz Larkin, who I thought would win that. And then you got Koreshkov. He only lost last to Lima in 2016. Excuse me. He fought two guys I really didn't hear of before then, his last few fights, and then, he ragdolled Ben Henderson. He had his way with him. You know, Ben stuck in there. But how good is Ben Askren? I mean, really, you know, he blanketed both these guys. Actually, he knocked one of them out. Yeah, he knocked out Koreshkov. Crazy. So, yeah. And then, you know, that's how good he is. And he's so underrated. I wish he would have been able to fight some more higher rank guys. I'm not going to get on that tangent here, but, ooh, man. I'm going to go based on strength of schedule. I think Douglas Lima takes it and wins this match. No method of victory, probably a decision. That is my guess. Next up, the very nimble, agile, moves like a cat, Quentin Rampage Jackson. And he takes on the great Wanderlei Silva. Man, this should be an explosion. I need to look this up real quick. I don't know what they weighed in at. So I want to know what they weighed in. Weigh-ins. So I'm looking up the weigh-ins real quick. So forgive me. I should have known this ahead of time. Okay. There's the video. There's the results. Okay. So while this pulls up, of course I jest a little bit with my intro on these guys. Well, all right. Yeah. Quentin Jackson came in at 254 pounds. My gosh. This is a guy that used to make 205. I think in the past he's made 185 in Pride, or 180 something. And Wandy weighed 226. Wow. I think when him and Chael fought, it was at 205 pounds. So interesting. Aaron Pico's fighting tonight as well, so I'm not going to pick that fight. I just think Pico probably rolls through him. I think they're setting him up to win. Leandro Higo. Yeah, so interesting. Quentin Jackson, 254 pounds. That is insane. That is, I mean, he looks fat too. And Wandy, 226. You know, I would have picked Jackson to beat Chael. He did not. I thought that, you know, just his takedown defense, but he's just not quick. He's just not quick anymore, man. You know, Chael handled him, you know, so hats off to Chael on that. Before that, Rampage loses to King Mo. Another decision. He beat Satoshi Ishii way back June 2016. Beat Fabio Maliando when he came back to that was a catchweight also. That was, I think that was about when he quit cutting weight. And let's see, I think the last time he even fought at 205 pounds was when he beat King Mo, which I thought he didn't win when I remember watching that. So okay, strength schedule here. This is tough because then you got Wanderlei, who lost to Chael, and Chael just handled him, blanketed him the whole time. It was way more dominant than when he beat Quentin. His last win, 2013 against Brian Stan, and wow, it's hard to even go back and look. I think just based on the fact that he's been more active, I don't see another knockout. Maybe I do. I don't know. It's one of those deals. Either guy touches the other guy, it's going to be lights out. But is Quentin quick enough to touch Wanderlei? And I know Wanderlei's not going to wrestle with him. He may try to take him down to steal, to steal the round or something like that. All right, I'm going upset here. I ain't picking Wanderlei. I went into this picking Quentin Jackson, but I'm picking Wanderlei Silva. He's going to win. He's probably going to win by knockout or TKO. So, yeah. Here we go. The main event of the evening, Gegard Mousasi, the resting bitch face of MMA, against Rory MacDonald. Man, I like this fight, and, why not Rory? Why not go up to 185? I don't know how much of a cut he has. Rumor is he'll come in weighing about 190, which is a little 10 pounds over maybe. 195, I don't know. I don't think he did what GSP did and tried to bulk up and that sort of thing. But Mousasi, at middleweight has done some amazing things. He went out on a high note in the UFC. He won his last fight before he came over. He beat Chris Weidman. Chris couldn't answer the bell. I don't know if it was illegal. There was a knee on the ground question mark. He eventually lost to Uriah Hall. He's beaten Vitor Belfort, Thiago Santos, Thales Lides. Man, and then he comes in and beats Shlemenko, who's no joke. And he had a rough time in that fight too. He then beat Carvalho and became the champ, Rafael Carvalho. So that's tough. And then you got Rory, who comes in and does well against Douglas Lima, submits Paul Daly, but before that he has 2 losses to Stephen Thompson, a decision, but loses the 5th round to Robbie Lawler in a slugfest. And here's the problem with that. Robbie is probably a bigger 175 pounder, or 170 pounder, sorry. And, man, thanks for all the hearts. Feel free to leave a comment and pick these with me if you like. So, you have a case where he lost to a bigger guy in Robbie Lawler. But he also handled Tyron Woodley. And, that was impressive back in the day. And Tyron's not a huge guy, but he's a great grappler. That was way back 2014. But here's the thing. Mousasi is a killer at light heavyweight and at middleweight. I don't even remember when he lost. I guess he lost to Souza way back when at light heavyweight. He beats... Oh, no, that was also at... Sorry. Yeah, no, okay, I'm sorry. Middleweight. Yeah, he lost against Jacare. Sorry. That was submission, but before that, he wins against OSP. He beats Mike Kyle, beats Ilir Latifi, who now is like in the tops of 205. Granted, that was a short notice fight. And that jab, man, Rory can get busted up. So I think it's going to be a case where, I don't know that Rory can grapple with him. But I think it's one of those cases where that jab is just too much. Yeah, the jab is just going to be too much for him. And, man, that jab is so quick. It is so underrated. I think Mousasi takes it TKO or KO, but you never know. I'm going to say probably 3rd round. Well, I don't usually call the round, but we'll see. We'll see. And that's it. Those are my picks for UFC 206. Thanks for everyone that watched the Periscope. You can download this later on the website, AaronSaysWhat.com. Click on the MMA Fight Picks tab. Subscribe however you want. Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. I got them all, man. I got them all. iHeart, whatever. I got you. And that's it. Until next time, this is Aaron Weinbaum. Shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.
Are you looking for a permanent home for your podcast? Well, Spreaker can do it all. Spreaker will give you your own RSS feed that you can submit to other platforms, including iTunes. Spreaker's mobile app will let you record from your smartphone, or you can use their web-based console with everything you need to record. Their podcasting plans include being able to host multiple shows at no extra charge. Got a YouTube channel? Spreaker's got you covered. You can effortlessly upload your podcast audio to your channel. You can even move your current podcast to Spreaker without losing any of your iTunes subscribers. Try any plan 30 days for free using promo code ASW.